Ever been cornered in a conversation that's rapidly morphing into a sparring match, and before you can blink, you're knee-deep in someone else's twisted version of your words? Suddenly, you're frustrated, tongue-tied, and just want an eject button. But here's a secret. You don't have to out-talk them to win. Sometimes the slickest way to come out on top is to say less, but say it smarter. No fists needed. Let's talk about how to do exactly that. You can usually sense when somebody's gearing up to bully you verbally. They'll give themselves away with a condescending tone, an arched eyebrow, or a not-so-subtle phrase like, "So, what do you have to say for yourself?" That's your red flag warning. They're coming for you. Maybe they're itching to frame you as the villain, or they're waiting for you to blurt something they can spin into a gotcha moment. If you charge right into their trap, answering questions without a second thought, you'll find yourself flailing. Wait, I didn't say that. Stop right there. Step one to winning an argument without saying much is catching on to their game before it escalates. The moment you hear them adopt that "so you're saying" approach, where they sum up your position in the most unflattering possible way, keep your cool. They're constructing a straw man they can beat down. Don't let them. Keep a calm posture, breathe, and correct them gently with something like, "Actually, that's not what I said at all." Then restate your point short and sweet. Does it feel repetitive? Tough. Clarity beats letting them reframe your words into nonsense. Which brings us to the "so you're saying" trap. Picture this. You mentioned that younger professionals may need a mentor's guidance sometimes. They shoot back with, "So you're saying young people are hopeless on their own?" No, that's not what you said. But if you don't push back right then, you're stuck defending an argument you never made. Resist the urge to deliver a rant because that's exactly the fight they want. Give a quick correction, calmly, firmly, something like, "Not even close. Let me clarify," and restate your actual stance. Notice how you're not raising your voice or unleashing an epic monologue. You're just refusing to let them reshape your words. Minimal talk, maximum clarity. Now for a sneakier tactic, assuming the sale. In the business world, a pushy salesperson might say, "Do you want that car in red or black?" before you even said you were buying a car. In an argument, people do this all the time. They slip in assumptions about what you believe, and if you're not alert, you wind up defending points you never supported. Let's say you make a casual comment about fairness in pay, and your debate partner jumps in with, "So why do you think people should just suck it up and accept inequality?" They're sneaking in a hidden claim that you believe in sucking it up and accepting inequality, which you never said. Don't take the bait. You calmly point out the assumption, "I never said people should accept inequality. Let's talk about what I actually said." By naming the assumption, you kill it before it grows legs. Again, you're not unleashing a 15-minute sermon. You're just shining a flashlight on that shady trick so it withers in the light. Then there's the smash technique, where someone spices multiple issues or accusations into one question so fast you can't address them all. They might say, "So, you're okay with rudeness and ignorance?" If you answer with a simple yes or no, you've basically accepted they belong together as some single point. This is how you lose. Instead, slow the conversation. Tackle each piece separately. Wait, are we talking about rudeness or ignorance here? Which one do you want me to address first? That forces them to clarify. You keep the reins. Pro tip, if they keep piling on questions like a furious hailstorm, refuse to chase each ball as it's thrown. Pick one, address it fully, then calmly move on to the next. Speaking of calm, body language is your stealth weapon. Don't go all stiff and wide-eyed, broadcasting your stress. Stay relaxed. Lean back a bit if you can. Keep your voice level. Your posture tells your brain we're good. We're in control. That helps you think clearer. Meanwhile, the person trying to tear you apart might be tapping their foot, waving their arms, or flushing red in frustration, visually showing they're the one losing composure. And guess which vibe onlookers trust more? To go a step further, if you do decide to respond with more detail, try weaving in concrete imagery. Generalities can come off vague or intangible. If someone is pressing you on an abstract concept like your stance on historical social norms, instead of a stuffy "historical context is important," Paint a quick mental picture. For instance, imagine living 300 years ago, when medical science was guesswork and people barely had access to clean water. That's how long societies have been dealing with these issues. You're still not yapping for hours. You're just giving them a mental snapshot. It lands sharper than waffle why stats and theories. Now let's address a powerful trick for persuasion. Reveal they already kind of agree with you. Often, if someone's raging in your face, it's because they view you as the enemy. But imagine you ask them a question that highlights how their previous statements or behavior line up with your viewpoint. For instance, if they're demanding, "Why do you think you have the right to speak your mind about this topic?" You might respond with, "You've been pretty outspoken about your views too. Why do you think you can do that?" They'll probably say, "Because I value free speech," or something about having a right to express themselves. Bingo. You can point out, calmly, that's the exact position you hold as well. You're not fighting them. You're unveiling that they've already let slip that they share your core principle. That's a quiet mic drop because people hate contradicting themselves. All this might sound like you're setting up to crush them, but notice how you're not turning this into a shouting match. Your voice is moderate, your posture relaxed, your statements kept short, because the real power move is not to out-argue them with volume or intensity. It's to show them their arguments implode without you even throwing a punch. You're staying on defense just enough to guard your actual stance, and whenever possible, flipping the conversation around to show they either misunderstood you or they're inadvertently echoing your point. That feels a lot like winning without doing much. A small caution: if you're so skillful that your opponent suddenly goes silent and you turn around and say, "Gotcha," you lose the graceful win. People don't like feeling humiliated, and if they do, they'll cling harder to their original stance just to save face. So once you see them realize you're not the punching bag they assumed, let that realization settle. Throwing a smug quip like, "Ha, gotcha," is the equivalent of spiking the ball in their end zone. Dramatic, but guaranteed to breed resentment. The best victory is often the one you don't gloat over. They back down, and you both walk away with dignity, or at least you do. Remember, not every confrontation is about making them see the light. Sometimes people come spoiling for a fight they're not interested in losing, or you're dealing with an online troll who just wants chaos. In that case, your minimal speech approach is especially crucial. The more you rant, the more they feed off it. The real boss move is stating your piece clearly, exposing any hidden assumptions, and then letting them sputter out. They'll usually do so once you demonstrate you're no easy target. So how do you wrap this up exactly? You keep it simple. You spot the "so you're saying" traps and debunk them. You refuse to sign up for beliefs that aren't yours by immediately pointing out the sneaky assumptions. You call timeouts on stacked questions so you can break them down. You guard your calm posture like your best friend, and you slip in a question here or there that highlights how their actions actually support your point. All of that in just a few words, delivered without panic.